from Jans.
Lammers fighting off the pressure. Taken down, no call. Ball will sail up. It's Garcia with it. To Barnard. Pass looking for Goudreau, stolen by Snyder. Lammers charging up for a pass to midfield. It's Glassbergen fighting off any pressure. Trying to come through, nice move.
Great move and shows skill.
But Feasby there with a smart play to clear it out.
Huge clear, but thrown will be from DiFrancesco.
It's throwing down the right line. Glassbergen trying to get deep. Beating Hicks. Look a little, she tripped herself up on that pass attempt. But Mountaineers still have the ball around the 35-yard line.
And in the second half, I'd say we've definitely seen a different Mountaineers team really holding possession and getting a lot more shots off in general.
There's been a lot of their gameplay this season. Jan's trying to get
and
through.
This could be it! But just not enough.
Like you said, this team has come out very aggressive in the second half, and that's been the story of play. Well, nice little replay here. Jan's trying to come through. Ball poked loose to Glassbergen, but chip shot once again saved by Van Wart Bradbury. This Mountaineers team, Lammers coming in. Shot is just over the net, but offside is called. Shot did sail over the net anyways. As you can see, shot just sails over. Feasby attempting to make the slide tackle, but before the pass was made, Lammers was considered offside. Back to what I was saying, the Mountaineers come out very aggressive in every second half. Most of their games, that it seems, they head into halftime tied at 0-0. They come in normally and survey their opponent. It's been a slow first half for most teams, just trying to figure out how their opponent plays defense, how they set up their offense. And then at halftime, their coach normally has a very, very good game plan change. Most of the goals for the Mountaineers have come in the second half this season. So looking to keep that trend coming here and get a nice play and a nice goal here.
Just like that, having DiFrancesco right in the backfield just does a lot of support for this Mountaineers team.
Jan's ball stolen right there by Hicks.
Huge pressure.
Yeah, Mountaineers still setting up their wall just at midfield. Forcing the Bruins to send it back and reset.
Great interception from this Mountaineers team, and let's see if they're able to bear any fruit.
Pass to Lammers too strong. That's Makarwich. That'll watch it sail out. Feasby on her left side of the field. Getting ready. Send it up near half. Ball being batted around right now. Still in play.
And kicked out of bounds by Hicks.
So Mountaineers still in the end of the Bruins. Seems like they've had most of their time of possession in the Bruins end this whole half. A quick throw in right here. Glassbergen trying to make something. Cross attempt just slowly rolls out. You can tell that these Sheridan defenders have been very fatigued so far in the second half. It seems like they've been playing on their heels this entire half, just trying to help out their keeper. Been pressed down in their own end for a majority of this half. Hicks getting ready to throw in. Brinker being just trying to avoid Garcia right there. DiFrancesco with another nice move, and Grayley will send it up.
And we're seeing a lot of great control from this Mountaineers team.
Yeah, they've had a few moments where they've dribbled just a little too much and lost the ball, but they've been doing some great moves throughout this game.
But this could just be the opportunity that the
Bruins
Bruins team needed. But shot will be squandered by
Jessica Jagdale. So she had a nice little solo effort, making it through a couple defenders. But it seemed like with the defender right on her heels, she tried to rush a shot opportunity. It was flat and left. So already here in the 80th minute, it seems like this second half has been flying by. So 10 minutes to play before any stoppage time if it is given. Game is still tied at 0-0. Mountaineers, I mean, they would be content with not losing, but over 50% of their games have resulted in a draw this season. So trying to stay out of the draw column and secure a win here at Tim Hortons Field.
100%. A win would be huge for this Mountaineers team.
A win would top the Sheridan Bruins for second in the standings.
And we're seeing a lot of physicality from both teams, especially as we approach the end of the match.
You can tell they know how much this game means to both of them.
And we have a huge run from Garcia. Let's see if it's able to bear any fruit.
That's Sokaz coming through. Seemed like there was a foul called on Garcia. Little hook around Sokaz as she tried to get in front. Pass being a little bobbled around right now by Brinker. Nice tap pass to Lammers, trying to start something up the left side here.
Let's see if Lammers is able to bear fruit with this pass.
So on the backtrack, Lammers trying to play some nice defense. Forces a pass down. Sokaz will send it back to her keep.
And Duhan will analyze the field. Passing it to DiFrancesco.
Minzak battling against Palambella. Ball sent into no man's land, so Mountaineers will try and take it out here.
Huge interception. And
Fight for it. Lammers sprinting, and nice clearance out there. Smart play by the Bruins. Snyder looking to throw in. Just a soft throw in right there. Lammers with a nice move.
great show of skill. Huge cross, but blocked off by Feasby.
And Feasby's been the anchor so far on defense. So ball just kind of going back and forth here around midfield between both teams. Once again, Snyder comes away with it.
And we're having a throw in from Bruin to Lebog.
Tapped around, little pressure on Jans. That's Makarwich to clear it out.
DiFrancesco will have some space.
Palambella will kick it out. Substitutions coming in right here. So it's looking like Jans is coming out and Kuparaji will come in the last 7 minutes of regulation. DiFrancesco still unsure of where to throw it. Fighting off multiple defenders, just swallowed up right there. Grayley will send it deep. Bounced over the head of any Mountaineers. Nice play by Brinker to stop.
Snyder to Lammers, broken up by Bernard.
Ball off Snyder. That's Shanna Goudreau getting ready to throw the ball in. And she'll dump it off. Barnard tapping the ball up. Nice little tap pass to Cooper Raji coming up the sideline. Tracked down right there by Daniela Labog. Nice show of speed. So ball was off Cooper Raji last. Feasby will kick it. So 5 minutes of regulation left here at Tim Hortons Field. Barring any extra time from the referee.
And with 5 minutes being left in the match, this is about the time where both teams
Sheridan sets potential number 16, Kennedy Petty. For number 3, Sheridan Gajot.
So Bruins starting their own attack right here, blocked away from Snyder, but Bruins looking to push the tempo. Deep pass coming in, tapped away. Barnard comes down with it. Gonna send any teammates forward. Ball kind of sent into no man's land. Bruins are there to retrieve it. It's Palambella.
huge fight for the ball right there.
Jagdeo against the defender. Ball sent up and cleared out. Beautiful play on defense.
Huge clearance, and it does seem that Glassbergen will trip
Pick
up
up.
Hicks.
So in a battle for the ball, just a little too hard on the push was Glassbergen. She'll pick up the foul. Hicks a little shaken up there. Seemed like she landed on her hand. Feasby, a deep shot. Graylee's clearance attempt blocked away, but a little miscommunication there between Brinker and Lammers on who was going to get the ball.
And we'll see how critical that miscommunication could be for this Mountaineers team.
Blocked by Machado. Machado with a slide tackle attempt on Barnard. Barnard setting up a cross. Sokaz there to head it away. Long ball, but Van Wart Bradbury pretty deep. Coming around the 30-yard line to make the play. Stopping any one-on-one attempt for the Mountaineers.
Extremely deep and dangerous for a goalkeeper to approach the 30-yard mark like such.
And it seems like she's had some great control of the ball with her feet. Making some nice plays. And Glassbergen coming in. Strike is up.
And goal! Golazo! Golazo!
Alyssa Glassbergen in the 88th minute comes in with a nice move, as you can see here, around Hicks, around the 25-yard line, sends the strike and catches Van Wart Bradbury off guard. Beautiful top corner shot, and the Mountaineers lead 1-0.
And just like that, Alyssa Glassbergen throughout the whole season.
She's been their leading scorer all year, so her 5th goal on the season comes in the 88th minute here at Tim Hortons Field. Could not have come at a better time for the Mountaineers. So now with just a couple minutes to play, these Mountaineers need to lock down.
With 2 minutes left, great composure shown by Alyssa Glassbergen.
Like you said, they normally try and go for some quantity shots, but realizing here now, looking for some quality attempts, and with the space, Glassbergen realized nobody on her hip, might as well try and take the strike, and she placed it perfectly.
And I can only imagine that this Mountaineers team are either hungry for another shot or really just going to try to make sure that this Bruin seems out their area.
Yeah, Mountaineers are going to play a very, hopefully aggressive game, still try and keep it in the Bruins' end. Or
Huge clearance.
play some nice possession here.
That-
Cooper Raji coming in now.
Clearance that could bear fruit.
And Glassbergen again,
Looking
getting
for her
past
second.
Hicks.
Looking for her second.
Shot will roll a few feet wide left. But once again, Glassbergen just showing her skill. looking for another goal, but just like to go back once again. This game is very important to both teams because currently Mohawk has 14 points on the season, Sheridan with 16. So if the Mountaineers do keep this lead and pull off the victory, they will top Sheridan for the second seed in the Western Conference and move to 4-0-5 on the season, pushing the Bruins to 5-3-1, ending their 3-game win streak. So in a game where not a lot of action seemed to be happening, Alyssa Glassbergen decides to change that in the 89th minute.
But one thing right now that the Mountain needs to do is really just make sure that this Bruin team doesn't capitalize on a goal.
Yeah, you just got to lock down.
Because week after week, we have seen this Mountaineers team be in the lead and then lose it, and then the game would end up being tied.
And this is a game where you cannot let that happen. Got to prioritize your defense here and just get the ball out of your end. Try and control it as they have been doing this entire half. Ball will trickle out. I'm not sure how many minutes of stoppage time the ref had awarded, whether it was 1 or 2. But we are now in the 91st minute. Bruins on their last hope right now. Feesby's pass over the head of Barnard.
Huge kick, and it does seem that Barnard is trying to bear an opportunity for this Bruins team. Final hopes.
Nice block coming in and across.
Huge
Lammers
block.
will send it deep. But Van Wart Bradbury coming out of her box to play it.
But Kuparaji is applying pressure, which does help Glassbergen
Yeah.
get the ball.
Glassbergen looking to maybe send across to Kuparaji. She'll drop it back.
And just
Cardona's
like
shot just over the net.
Just a bit
Could have been
above
a
the crossbar.
beautiful insurance goal. As you see Glassbergen drop it back, top of the box.
Would have been a beautiful one-timer.
Very, very close. Would have been Cardona's second goal in her last 2 games. Just along with Glassbergen, who scored the first goal of the game against Redeemer on Friday.
Huge pressure shown from this Mountaineers team. Definitely don't want to give up the lead in such a crucial time in the match.
Ball will be kicked out of bounds. Referee calling in the late substitution. It's looking like Machado coming out. And DiFrancesco will come back in for these dying moments here. She has a very good ball handling skill, so hopefully if any attempt at the ball coming to her, she can avoid any Sheridan Bruins players. Ball does trickle out. So Bruins looking to work with a lot of pace right now, trying to get any opportunity in these dying moments. Ball will be sent up, blocked around midfield by the Mountaineers. Ball in no man's land. Fighting for it is Glassbergen. Too much contact on the play.
And Hicks will get the foul for it.
So this can be a great
Bruins
opportunity right here for Feesby to send her team downfield, looking for any offensive opportunity. Ball is headed away. Glassbergen midfield. The whistle is blown, and the final score
And that
is
will be the
1-0. So the Mountaineers come out battling in the second half, putting as much pressure as possible on these Bruins. And with a late goal in the 89th minute by Alyssa Glassbergen, the Mohawk Mountaineers take this game with a final of 1-0, and now topping the Bruins for second in the Western Conference in the OCAA.
This is a huge match for the Mountaineers.
So final is 1-0, but Mohawk playing the way they always do with 21 shots on goal to the Bruins 6. 11 shots on goal to the Bruins 4. Very aggressive game, but the Mountaineers come on top. I'd like to thank all viewers for watching Mohawk Mountaineers Sports. We will see you next time.
from our men's soccer program and honor them for their time and contribution to their respective sport. I'd like to ask men's soccer head coach Jordan Brown and his assistant coaches to come to midfield to assist with the presentation. Our first student athlete has played 2 seasons with the Mountaineers and will be graduating from the Protection, Security, and Investigation program. Ladies and gentlemen, number 11, Keon Smith. Our next graduating student athlete has also played 2 seasons for the Mountaineers and will be graduating from the Health, Wellness, and Fitness program. Ladies and gentlemen, number 23, Karen Blake. This next student athlete has also played 2 seasons for the Mountaineers and is completing his studies in the Community and Justice Services program. Ladies and gentlemen, number 5, D'Anthony Sims. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our graduating student athletes.
I'd like to welcome all viewers back to Mohawk Mountaineers Sports live from Tim Hortons Field. I'm Connor LaHaye.
And I'm McFestiel Suzua.
And today we have a matchup between the men's soccer team of the Mohawk Mountaineers and the Sheridan Bruins. So currently on the season, Sheridan is 4-1-3, and the Mountaineers in a rather forgetful season are 1-7. But tonight the Mohawk Mountaineers look to play spoiler and get a win for their team, while the Bruins are the 4th seed in the West. With a win, they can take 3rd place, topping up Fanshawe. So currently, Fanshawe has played 9 games in the season with 17 points. Sheridan currently at 15 points, but at 8 games played. So a win here would boost them into the 3rd seed, boosting their playoff standings. So the Mountaineers, in a season with not much left in it, look to get a nice team win here and hopefully play spoiler to these Bruins.
We're definitely seeing two teams with very different goals to end this season. One team with aspirations of playoffs and championships, and another team with just more so development and finishing off the season strong, really wearing their crest.
One thing you really should look out for in this game is number 10 on the Bruins, Raheem Thorpe. Currently leads the league in goals with 15 goals in 8 games played, leading the next best player by 3 goals. And out of the 24 goals that these Bruins have scored on this season, Thorpe has scored 15 by himself with 4 game-winning goals. And currently one of the best offenses in the league are the Bruins. They're 5th in goals per game with 3 even. So this will be a good test for the Mountaineers defense.
And it does seem that the referee has a few words to tell the players just before we start the match.
So we currently have just an issue with the netting. Seems like it's a little too loose in the top left corner, so just some tending to happening before this game gets underway.
But with the Mountaineers this year, sadly they have had a disappointing season with their record being 1-7, with it being 1 win and 7 losses. Only so far having 3 goals scored within those 8 matches.
Yeah, it's been a rather down year for this team, but it is very hard. They only have, I think, 2 substitutions now at this point of the season on the bench. So working with a very short team, you do have players getting very fatigued after 90 minutes of play. Even if you are swapping out one player, they are going to be playing at large amounts of time before getting a little bit of rest, getting a breather. But when you're playing 90 minutes out there, the only time you normally get a water break would be around halftime. So 45 minutes straight of grueling play, especially against these top offenses that these Mountaineers have been facing. These defenses are getting trampled so far on the season. And after playing 90 minutes against some high-class offenses, your players will be very tired.
But with having Oliver Stanky in net, it does seem that it does help a bit, but sadly not enough when these teams just outnumber you.
Stanky looks like he's having a down year statistic-wise, but the stats do not play into his performance this season. Seems like a lot of possessions he has been left for dead by his defense, has been allowed a lot of 2-on-0s, 1-on-0s, some penalty shots. So a lot of these goals you can't really blame on him, but he's been having a pretty good season.
Definitely got put in a few difficult situations, but from seeing him up here, we've definitely seen great saves that he's made throughout the season.
So the Mountaineers are 1-3 at home on the season. Their only win coming against the Niagara Knights in a nice 2-0 victory back on September 23rd. And one thing to note, the Sheridan Bruins have played Niagara this season, beating them 7-0 and 2-0 on the season.
And it does seem that Raheem is trying to get an early start and falsely find a net. Trying to open early doors for this Bruins team. Great spacing from the Mountaineers team. Keon Smith with the ball.
This ball being batted around a little bit. That's Spears trying to come up. Whistle is blown. So once again, right near the ball, you see Raheem Thorpe. So I see as this game plan for the Mountaineers, you're going to want to make sure to keep the ball out of his possession. He's a lethal goal scorer on the season. And he scored 15 goals with no penalties. So all of his goals have come in play.
And I believe Raheem Thorpe also scored 4 game-winning goals.
Yeah, he's had a knack for the big moment, you can say.
We'll definitely see if he's able to execute such skill during this match.
So in a game with the Mountaineers looking to have nothing to fight for, Bruins have a lot on the line in this game. So excited to see how this plays out. The ball will still be in play.
And great physicality shown from this Mountaineers team. And foul will not be called from the referee, but
That's Luke Sabatino down on the ground.
great possession from the Mountaineers team, being able to adapt to a new situation when not getting the call.
That's Garen Blake up here on the right side.
Garen Blake, who's also a senior.
Yeah, he was one of the graduating players in the starting ceremony.
Definitely we'll see if he's able to use his skills and possibly get a goal for this Mountaineers team today.
Ball being sent up the left side for the Bruins. Long through pass, just a little too hard. Steinke will get that.
And we're seeing great pressure from this Mountaineers team right now, really looking lively, but we've seen this time and time again, so hopefully throughout the match they're able to keep this composure and really put one in the back of the net and bear some fruitful chances.
So Steinke's kick goes very far downfield. We'll take the entire length of the field out of play. And the keeper for the Bruins right there. It's Ahmed Al-Bachi. So Bruins looking to make some work from their own end here. Ball will be sent down the middle. A little battle right now between Curie.
Great passing from this Mountaineers team.
Curie will send it back to Sims. Sims coming through on his own right now. Send it up to Garen Blake.
And hopefully Sims will be able to really get back into the lineup and back into focus for this match. Sims did get a red card 2 matches ago and wasn't able to play the Redeemer game. So with Sims back in the lineup, this Mountaineers team will be looking quite different and have a lot more defensive and offensive opportunities.
Yeah, so like you said, a couple games ago, Sims ended up getting 2 yellow cards, which did result in a red. And in this league, 1 red will give you a 1-game suspension. So Friday's game against the Redeemer Royals, the Royals came up on top 6-0 to the short-handed Mountaineers. So as one of their captains on the defense, he's looking to bring some toughness and grit to that back line. Spears will send it back. Bruins looking to make some long passes, and you can see already they've targeted Thorpe a couple times.
It does seem that this Mountaineers team is aware that Thorpe has been having quite the season.
So it seems like their game plan so far, the Bruins, they've been sending some long passes from their own end downfield, trying to sail it over the entire Mountaineers team and get Thorpe on a breakaway. So keep an eye out for that. Sims ball down. Blake looking to battle for it. Ball is tapped out. It will be a corner kick for the Mountaineers. It's a nice job by Garen Blake to show off his speed. He's a rotating player. Play a bit of midfield, a little bit of center back, full back.
And it'll be Nick Tavares corner kick.
He's got a beautiful leg.
Kick a bit short, but it will be Mountaineers ball. And this could be it, the opportunity. But the Bruins will be able to escape this one.
So
But
Kerry had a
Bernard,
nice opportunity, but beautiful slide tackle from the Bruins.
it does seem that Bernard did overshoot that one just quite a bit. It will be Bruins ball. Great show skill from Thorpe.
That Spears on the right side. He'll send it back to his defender. It's Thierry Moulton.
A lot of great tiki-taka, great textbook execution passes from this Bruins
Some nice
team.
passes. A good through ball. Coming on in.
And
Slide
just-
tackle from Steinke to clear it out.
And that was a crucial pressure from Steinke.
So nice play right there by Oliver Steinke to stop any crossing attempts from coming through.
Definitely saving his team right then and there from an early goal.
A little miscommunication there. We'll have the Mountaineers getting out of their own end with a throw in here. Battle between players. So players complaining about the referee's lack of blowing the whistle on if the ball was out of play or not. Garen Blake will throw it in.
And Garen Blake starting as captain in this match.
One of his final matches of the season. Mountaineers only have one game remaining. They will play the Fanshawe Falcons at home in London on Saturday, October 15th.
Great running effort from Savantino and Carey. Huge pressure.
So you see Kilmurray and Blake both playing a nice little bit of defense on the ball there. These Mountaineers, although they have had some bad losses, some of their games have been a lot closer than the score seems. They did lose 3-0 to the Conestoga Condors back on the 28th, but after an early goal in the first few seconds, the Mountaineers kept it at a 1-0 game until about the 89th minute. So they know how to keep their level of play at a high intensity against top teams. It's just, can they keep it going for this long?
But with this matchup, history would tell that the Mountaineers and that the Sheridan Bruins are quite the close matchup. With last year, their first match resulting in a 5-4 win for the Sheridan Bruins and a 3-3 tie with the Mountaineers and Bruins, both resulting with 3 goals each.
Yeah, so last season, teams were pretty close. But in this new season, with the way the Bruins have been playing at a higher pace, be excited to see if these teams are still matched up at the same level they were.
Great clearance from Bernard.
So this is the first matchup between the two teams this season. First and only matchup.
And foul committed from Epi. And we'll see if this free kick will bear any type of fruit.
So some nice positioning here on a wide angle. Through is up. Seems like it's headed away by Sims. Nice save right there by Malton. Battling with it is Spears. Pass a little too hard to control there. Sabatino will toss it up to Tavares. Ahua will try to make a move. Spin move was stolen. Through ball coming in. Steinke will corral it, but linesman did call another offside. So it seems like that's been their target of play so far. Sending in Thorpe on some deep passes. It seems like so far the passes have been just a little too late, or Thorpe has just been a step ahead. So now the Mountaineers have the ball back. They will reset to their defense. Jokanovic.
And it does seem that Jokanovic is playing with a minor injury. Seems that his arms could be a bit banged up, but playing through the pain. Nothing unusual for these Mountaineers, fighting through the pain and really just saying, okay, we're going to try our best and give the best performance for our school.
Shot is blocked. Ball still in the danger zone for the Bruins right now. Crossing attempt is up. Thorpe is in. The crossing attempt blocked.
Huge save and team effort from the Mountaineers.
So I'm not sure who that was on the defensive end, but a player did come through and have a nice block on the goal line to stop a goal after Steinke came in with the slide tackle, as you can see in this replay. That's Keon Smith there to block it. We do have a player sort of down. Seems like he is up now. And one thing to point out, it's pretty windy conditions tonight, and rainfall is beginning to come down. So this will change a lot of the outlook on this game, especially for the keepers. The slippery ball, it'll be harder to corral. They do have the nice grip on their gloves, but nothing you can do about a slippery ball.
And with the rain coming down so hard right now, we'll definitely see if it does a huge effect on the gameplay of this match, or if both teams are able to overcome this adversity.
But one thing that will change the level of play is that the Mountaineers here are playing on a turf here at Tim Hortons Field. So unlike a lot of home fields that are just regular grass, the turf will let the water drain through, and it won't affect the field as much as a regular outdoor field, but the ball still will be a very different factor in this game.
We'll see if this free kick bears any fruit for the Mountaineers. An early goal could definitely change the whole match.
It's only 3 goals on the season for the Mountaineers, but looking to make some damage here in the 14th minute. Mahuo's free kick will sail wide left.
And it shall be Bruins kick.
Seems like either coaches or players from the Bruins want to pick up the pace and move a little faster. That's Mowelton down on the Bruins end. Send it back to Elbachi.
One thing that both teams really have in common is quite the short bench, with both teams having next to nothing to make any type of substitutions. So it'll really be a grit to the grind type of game, and really down to the last minute.
And speaking of short benches and fatigue, it will be one thing to point out that Mountaineers haven't had many substitutions on their bench all season. So if this season-long fatigue might come into play versus the Bruins, who may have had some substitutions earlier on in the year, but after a lot of full-time games for a lot of these players, their bodies could be wearing out at this point in the season. Ball played down, looking for a tough battle here. Sabatino trying, but ball will be off the Bruins player. It's Malton. And the Mountaineers will have a goal kick in the left corner.
But going back to what you were saying, Connor, Definitely with both teams really just having a small bench right now, that could be a huge factor in the end of the game and whatnot, especially throughout the season.
Right now, it shouldn't be too much of a factor, but expect to see a lot of differences around the 70th minute on. Long cross by Tavares, just missed by Curie. Ball will sail out, so a missed opportunity here.
And if the Mountaineers team isn't at the top of the leaderboard, there are always some playoff hopes with the round robin and whatnot. So depending if they are able to get a win today and a win during fan shot, there are always playoff hopes and aspirations for this Mountaineers team.
And even if the playoffs aren't on the mind of the Mountaineers, you'd still look to go out, hopefully, with 1 or 2 wins on the season to end this. Looking forward to a better season next year, but coming out with some hope. It's a Huo trying to make a move. He'll be called in the foul with a little too much of a grip there. Doesn't seem happy about the call. So already in the 17th minute here. Not many shot opportunities for both teams. The Bruins have had 1 shot on goal to their 1 total shot. And the Mountaineers have had 2 shots with none on goal.
Hopefully in this match the Mountaineers will be able to really start getting shots on goal. That's definitely been one of their season struggles.
It's been hard for them to set up any type of offensive games. That's the Bruins coming in down the left side. Long pass.
But Garen Blake there to defend.
Little odd interaction there.
Huge
The offensive
clearance.
player may have been a factor from the rain. Looked like he slipped down. The ball's still being batted around right now. Bruins will probably reset here. Yep. Back to their defense. This Mountaineers playing some pretty good defense right now. Mountain will send it up to his midfielder. And that's Rizal. Anderson going to come up this left side. Through pass just a little too hard. And Steinke will take the goal kick.
And right now we're seeing great communication from this Mountaineers team. Definitely hungry for a goal.
Kick is in the air. Another powerful kick downfield. Headed around, but the Bruins will take it back and they'll send it back to their keeper. So ball out of bounds, Garen Blake to throw in.
An Eden Crew with great composure and skill. But it does seem that he did do a push off and it will be a foul.
So Mountaineers will take the ball around the 45 here with a free kick.
And it'll be DeAnthony Sims kicking the ball.
So Sims trying to set up his team downfield right now. Free kick is coming.
And DeAnthony Sims used to being a striker, but definitely had to pick up the Mountaineers defense, so got put in the back with his speed and on-ball intelligence. Definitely needed back there for his Mountaineers team.
So Albachi will just send it off to his defender right there in Moulton.
Great passing from this Bruins team.
Still stuck in their own end. Just trying to make anything right now. Ball is sent down deep. Yep. So offside was called there again. So these Bruins have been trying to get some nice through balls down and generate some offense, but already in this first half, they've had 4 offsides. So they're a very aggressive team when it comes to their push.
I definitely would have saw that offside all the way in Alberta.
So they're a very passive team in their own end, just trying to get some opportunities. But when it comes to the chances and their through balls, they've been very aggressive. Tavares fighting for it right now and comes out with it. Tripped up. Not to the likes of the defender, but Mountaineers will have it. It's Brandon Barnard. We'll pass it off to Stefan Jokanovic.
And this could be a real crucial free kick for this game early on.
About 36 yards out right now. Directing his team. Kick is up. Bouncing around. But
Garen Blake was not able to get to the back of it.
it seems like the ball was deflected off the Bruins, so Tavares will make his way to the corner for another corner kick. I know he does have a powerful leg. A few of those corner kicks so far in this game have gone far. So, especially with the wind here, it'll be a tough look for Tavares to set up his team.
It definitely doesn't seem that the wind is on his side at all.
Ball is floating in, and Albachi will take that with no pressure. Ball downfield, an attempt for Thorpe.
It really
Great
just
pass off right there. Unselfish play. Pass a little too far wide.
And even with the move earlier, it does seem that Thorpe is a very unselfish player and always willing to give his teammates a goal or, if he has to, an assist.
And so far, what he's displayed on the field so far, he's been a very passive player. He's passing it around to his teammates a lot. But if you look at the stat sheet, it doesn't look like he does that too often with 15 goals on the season to a measly 1 assist.
1 assist.
I mean, when you do score over 50% of your team's goals, it's hard to assist on most of them. So background half, the Bruins will try and set up their offense. Pass a little too hard there. Sabatino will dump it off to Tavares.
And it seems that the Mountaineers are going to try to counter on this attack, but the ball will trickle out.
Tavares' through pass just too hard. It seems like so far the rain has stopped from a downpour just to a light drizzle right now. So wind still a big factor here. Wind is blowing in the direction of the back of the Mountaineers. So Steinke's kicks will be a lot more powerful. Will be a factor for the Bruins trying to make any plays with their keeper.
And somehow Thorpe still being able to maintain the ball, but being attacked by these Mountaineers.
Thorpe's still down on the ground, getting up.
Very slowly.
See if he'll get back in this play. Slowly walking back. A lot of bodies flying around currently. Good slide tackle by D'Anthony Sims. Very slow-paced first half right now.
From both teams.
Keon Smith will look to send one down. Blocked down by Moulton. Pass him through the middle.
Great show of skill.
And it's Hankowski sending it back. Anderson will send it to the left side. So like I said earlier, they're a very passive team in their own end, looking for some good opportunities, looking for some quality chances. Don't be surprised if in a couple of passes they do look downfield for a long through ball to Raheem Thorpe. That through ball is short and headed away by Garen Blake. And that's Spencer Kilmurray knocked down.
It does seem that a foul was called and a free kick will be given. Quickly taken by Garen Blake. Pass to D'Anthony.
Ball is just a little too far for Tavares there. ball is sent down by Reed Robinson, but nobody there to receive it. Sims will slowly send the ball up. That's Brandon Barnard. So it seems like a little bit of pressure coming here from the Bruins. They're not backing off. Barnard trying to make something work here. Short pass to Sabatino.
I mean, great show of skill from Sabatino, but would get swallowed by these Bruins.
So very hard pass blocked down by Keon Smith. Kiri looking to make a move around the 40-yard line. Will send it wide to Blake. Blake looking to send a cross, just a little short. Going the opposite direction of the wind. Bruins looking to send a through here.
And this
They
could
do
be
have
the
a
game.
rush coming. Shot is low and on the left side of Steinke. Just a little reach over.
Easy save for Oliver Steinke, who is a former OCAA Athlete of the Week.
Booming kick downfield with the wind. So that's one thing I mentioned earlier. It will play a nice factor. If the Mountaineers are trying to get out deep, Steinke can send a nice kick, and with the wind in his back, will send it probably an extra 10-15 yards. Moulton will send it up to Spears. Spears avoiding the pressure of Sabatino. Ball trickles out, but Bruins will retain possession. That's Rizal. Anderson will slowly make his way up. Just a soft pass right there. And Thorpe trying to make his way up this left side. Looking to make a move right now on Sims. Will pass it off. And tripped up there by Vukeshvik is Tavares.
And it does seem that the Mountaineers will be starting from their back end.
Already nearing the 30th minute of play in this first half. Score is still 0-0. Not really many big opportunities for both teams. Just 2 shots on goal in total, both by the Bruins so far. So not too much action in this first half. Both teams just really trying to get a feel of each other in their first matchup. Spears looking to push the pace off the throw-in.
And great pressure from Sabatino.
Beautiful move, just a little too hard. We'll let it drop off to Huo. Huo being hounded currently by Robinson. He will draw the foul. Referee will come and point to the point of the free kick. So Mountaineers will send their players a little downfield now again for the free kick.
And with this free kick being given, just time and again, always an opportunity for these Mountaineers to be on the prowl.
We've had some good opportunities this season. It's just the execution has been lacking.
Always seem to be one pass short or one pass too many.
Long pass down. Snagged away by Albachi, and he will send it out quickly. Trying to look to get Thorpe a good opportunity here. Trying to tap it to himself. Thorpe coming in. Nice clear out by Jokanovic. Just like we said, game plan. Get the ball out of possession of Thorpe.
And that was great defensive executions from the Mountaineers. Thorpe is definitely on a rampage this whole season with 15 goals in the OCAA.
And only in 8 games played so far. Some other teams have 9 games played on the season, and Thorpe's still leading the league with 3 goals more than the second player. Ball over the head of Steinke, still in play. Whistle is blown. I'm not sure what the call was. Did they called an offside? Yep. So off the cross, it seems like Thorpe tried to establish his position deeper into the baseline. Yet another offside called for these Bruins. Their 5th of the game. Keon Smith will toss it up just a little bit to Nicholas Tavares. His booming kick downfield bounced away from Barnard just to keep it in play, but we'll roll back to Albachi. Decides to pick it up and roll it.
And great spacing from this Bruins team.
And Kowski will send a deep kick downfield, but just bounced right into front of Steinke.
Steinke always ready, always. Every day is game day. Every day is game day.
Steinke has proven that on a lot of opportunities where most of the Bruins team is down on the field, or mostly any opposing team, he's had great composure, made some amazing saves, but it just seems like most of the goals allowed are on odd man rushes. So in this about half field set, Steinke seems to be very composed. So if you are the Mountaineers, you're trying to limit any odd man rushes throughout this game. Blake trying to make a move here. Slide tackle just missed, but seems like the Bruins player kicked it out. It's Garen Blake on the sideline.
Huge turn from Garen Blake.
Send it downfield to Ahuo. Block back. This ball's still bouncing around right now. Both teams fighting for it. That's Thorpe with a nice first touch. Getting past in, and that's exactly what Raheem Thorpe does.
Just right there. Great composure from Raheem Thorpe.
Posing for the camera.
Celebrating with his teammates.
So in the 33rd minute, Raheem Thorpe, with now his 16th goal in the season, Bruins take a 1-0 lead. So as you can see here, high kick, but look slowly. Beautiful first touch. Just shields his body off from Jokanovic, and then right through the wickets of Oliver Steinke. This is just world-class talent you guys are witnessing right now.
Just one of those plays where the Mountaineers on the right side of their defense could have dropped back a little more to really help out their keeper more and their last defender. But just like that, Raheem Thorpe is a game difference type of player. 16 goals, 9 games so far. Quite the amazing stat sheet.
So like I mentioned, just that first touch was exactly what led him to that opportunity. Very high ball in front of him, but was able to get his foot out in front and drop it down right into possession of dribbling. And once again, Bruins already making another push. Still on his feet, but cleared out.
Huge clearances, but it does seem that the Mountaineers aren't able to get a good one touch on the ball.
And like I mentioned, you want to stop those odd man rushes, and that 1-on-0 with Thorpe and Steinke, probably the worst 1-on-1 you could ask for as a keeper, with the lethal Raheem Thorpe coming in. Full speed, and there's not much you can do about that if you're Oliver Steinke.
And Thorpe could be looking this early for a second.
Pushed down by Smith, but play will resume. Whistle is blown. Thorpe is down off the contact.
It does seem that Shork is slightly shaking up, but will be okay and play the match on.
Having a little conversation with Tavares there. Referee judging the call. Seems like all smiles between the players and the referee. So in some pretty good position here around the about 24-yard line. Raheem Thorpe will look to make some damage on this free kick.
It does seem that Raheem Thorpe did do a bit of a trick play on us.
Yeah, dropped it off and let Dave Rizal take the kick. But the booming kick sailed through the uprights over the net.
Again, very unselfish. Raheem Thorpe just letting his player take the free kick instead of having a second goal possibly.
Seems like he puts the team first.
Huge kick from Oliver Steinke.
It's the wind helping too. Ball bouncing around. Barnard trying to chase it down. Spears will shield himself away.
It does seem that a collision did happen on the field, actually.
That's Spencer Kilmurray down on the pitch. Is being talked to by the Bruins player. And like Joseph Renfigo. Kilmurray does get up. Is talking to his trainer currently. We'll see on the replay here. Oh. So on the attempt of the header from Kilmurray, made some contact with the defender. So for precautionary reasons, he will be taken out, especially if a head injury. Don't want to risk anything after a concussion or concussion protocol.
In an injury situation like this, again, we've stated much earlier that the Mountaineers bench is not the deepest compared to other teams and might struggle to replace him.
So currently no substitution in, as Kilmurray is still being tended to. But if he is fit to play, they will send him back in. A long through ball coming in is Thorpe. And once again, Raheem Thorpe doing what he does best.
So just right after the injury occurred, Raheem Thorpe puts one in the back of the net to make 2 goals in this match.
So as you see here, just a beautiful through ball past Keon Smith, and Thorpe showing off his speed, a little hesitation, and just sends it on the far side past Steinke. Just no chance for that. Thorpe will celebrate with his teammates. And in the 38th minute, the Bruins now lead 2-0 off the second goal of the game and the 17th on the season for Raheem Thorpe.
It does seem that Thorpe is trying to hit that 20 mark by the end of the season.
With 1 game to go, at 17 goals, just needs 3 more, either in this game or in their final matchup of the season against the Humber Hawks on Saturday. So it seems like the substitution Kilmurray did come out, and Sebastian Kanya comes in on the defensive end. About 5 minutes to play in this first half. The Mountaineers have played at a very good level. Just those 2 mishaps, that's all I've been saying. You don't want to let any player down in a 1-on-0 against your keeper, especially when it's the league-leading scorer, Raheem Thorpe.
And as the league leading scorer, he did what he's supposed to do. He put one in the back of the net, and then he did it again.
He's had 2 opportunities, and he shows exactly why he's the top goal scorer. Does exactly what he needed to do. Just placed it perfectly on the left side past Steinke.
And it seems that they might be trying to target Thorpe again. And great
Another
pass.
first touch, but a little chop kick in the air. Bounces a few times to Steinke. Steinke telling his players to move upfield. Ball downfield. Keary chasing for it. Anderson will let it go out.
Throw in from the Bruins.
Blake's cross will be avoided by the defender and allow Albachi to pick it up. We'll send it over to Spears. Spears will dump it back off. That's Hankowski.
Anderson.
2 minutes of play remaining in the first half. 3 minutes of regulation time remains in the first half.
That's Malton. Send it back to the opposite side of play. Anderson looking for a long through ball.
It does seem to
Up,
connect. But Garen Blake is on defense and on the prowl.
And Thorpe trying to make a play for his team. Just a little too hard on the pass there.
And Steinke will wrap it up.
That's Barnard. Soft little pass up to Sabatino, broken up.
And right now we're seeing huge defensive and offensive pressure from this Bruins team. It does seem that they want the Mountaineers out their end and to just keep generating goals.
Seems like most of the possession in the Bruins and this game has been the Bruins, just kind of resetting with their defense and looking for some great opportunities.
Who knows, Connor? Maybe we'll even see a hat trick by the end of tonight. Or maybe 2.
Wouldn't surprise me if Thorpe gets on the board one more time. Just a lethal goal scorer.
Truly a game changer for any team.
Ball coming in, and Steinke will clear any pressure, take it himself.
Huge defensive play from Ian Curry.
Through ball, Thorpe again.
Oh, but Steinke will be there.
So Steinke wins the battle this time.
Huge save for the Mountaineers. And that could be what it takes to really just get them back to great team morale that they
So
need.
watch right here, through ball. Thorpe trying to make a little chop attempt, but Steinke was not fooled. Slides in, kicks the ball out. So you see that Thorpe, after the first 2 attempts of just coming in and sending it in right on the far side, this time tried to play a little bit of trickeration on Steinke. Get him on the ground and hopefully chip it over, but Steinke was not fooled. Spears with a deep throw in. Thorpe shielding off, but throw in was too powerful. The ball will be cleared out by Jokanovic. And the Bruins will take a late first half corner kick.
And as we approach almost the end of the first half, we'll see if the Bruins are able to capitalize on a 3rd goal by any chance. Right before the half ends.
Kick is up. Header is knocked away. And players will stay in their position. We will take another corner kick in the 44th minute. Once again, kick in the air. Header is on target. And just about a foot wide to the right. Steinke had to make a dive just in case it was getting past him. But a nice header attempt by the Bruins.
And it was a very acrobatic dive, I would say, as well. From Oliver Steinke.
Nice little one-man show here.
Great show of skill from Tavares, but the ball will be taken back, and it seems that a card will be given out.
Yep. So yellow card given there to what looks like to be Stefan Jokanovic. So a late first half yellow card will be given to the Mountaineers. Free kick ready to be taken. We are nearing the end of this first half. Not sure if any extra time was given by the referee. But most likely after this offensive push, the half will be over. Through ball up. Ball tossed through. Wide open.
And just squandered by the Sheridan
Steinke
Bruins.
looking to the linesman, looking for the offside call as he had 2 men coming in by themselves. Look at that was Vukajvic all alone trying to beat Steinke, but was just few inches to the right, making this a 3-0 game in the first half.
It does seem that the Mountaineers defense was a bit confused on that play.
And whistle blown, so end of the first half. So after 45 minutes of play here at Tim Hortons Field, after that man right there, Raheem Thorpe, OCAA's leading scorer, has put 2 in the back of the net. The Bruins lead 2-0 here against the Mohawk Mountaineers. All viewers back to Mohawk Mountaineers Sports. Live from Tim Hortons Field, I'm Connor LaHaye.
And I am McFesty Osuzua.
After 45 minutes of play between the Mohawk Mountaineers and the Sheridan Bruins, the Bruins lead 2-0 coming into the second half after 2 goals from OCAA's leading scorer, Raheem Thorpe, scoring his 16th and 17th goals on the season. It's a rather lopsided first half. The Bruins put up 9 shots and 6 on goal to Mohawk's 3 and 0 on goal.
And so far, I wouldn't say that the Mountaineers are having a horrible half, but they were definitely struggling at a few key points and really let Oliver down when coming to his aid in defense.
Yeah, most of the goals that the Mountaineers have allowed on the season have been pretty open breaks, whether it was a 1-on-0, 2-on-0, and so far this game, the only 2 mishaps they've had were allowing Raheem Thorpe on 2 1-on-0s on Oliver Steinke. And as the top scorer in the league, he's obviously going to convert those and put 2 in the back of the net.
Huge cross by the Mountaineers, but sadly a bit of miscommunication.
Ball will sail out of bounds. Ball is thrown back into play.
And it's a lovely passing from the Bruins. Great show of skill.
And it's Rizal will walk through midfield with it. Ball banged off Kiri. The Bruins pushing the pace here. Nice through ball. Coming in, cross attempt, and that is the hat trick for Raheem Thorpe. Holding the threes up, pointing to his teammates. And just like that, a nice little through ball. So you see right here, through ball coming in. That's Rizal. Notices his teammate Thorpe coming in. Beautiful. And just an easy tap in for Thorpe off the misplay from Kenya.
And great composure. Great shot. Great cross.
So like you mentioned, aiming for 20 on the season is Thorpe. So after 3 goals here tonight already at 18 on the season with 1 game to play.
I fully believe that Thorpe might be aiming for 25. I believe that Thorpe could just be having one of those matches where he could. It's so early in the second half that 5 is just not out the question.
He's put 6 shots on goal already and 3 of them going in. So Thorpe has just been a one-man wrecking ball this game. So only about a minute and a half into the second half, the Bruins capitalize again and turn this game to a 3-0 lead. And just a little mishap by the Mountaineers by leaving Thorpe open on the receive from the cross. It's just the one thing you can't do.
And even on an opportunity just like that, the Mountaineers defense was just not able to catch up with that one offensive player where Oliver had to get more involved in the play than he usually would like to.
And you can see, as they showed on that replay, ball was coming through and Kenya tried to make a chopping kick at it and just kind of seemed to go through his legs, leaving Thorpe with a spoon-fed hat trick. So Bruins now with a 3-goal lead. Foul called. So Mountaineers now down 3, trying to get anything in the back of the net at this point just to kind of boost their team spirit.
And DeAnthony Sims with the free kick. Huge free kick, but keeper will snag it up. Balachi. And just like now, we'll see if Thorpe puts it a 4th, and just like that, he does. Like I said earlier, 5 is not out of the question for Thorpe. He currently right now has what,
Oh, and a
19 goals.
little dance move, pointing towards his bench.
Seems
But-
that Thorpe has wrapped 19 goals so far this whole season.
See, it's just mishaps like that. You leave him wide open, and it's a 1-on-0 with Steinke's left with the best goal scorer in the OCAA all alone, and that is a 4-0 game. And Raheem Thorpe is just toying with these Mountaineers right now.
And we see that Garen Blake tried his very best to get back on the play and really help the Mountaineers on that play, but sadly just not enough, and Thorpe capitalized on it.
I'd like to apologize for the start of this game. Our score sheet had said that the keeper for the Bruins was Ahmed Al-Bachi. Turns out that the keeper for the Bruins is Michael Markach. So my apologies to Markach.
It does seem that an injury may have occurred, possibly on the field. But we're seeing great sportsmanship from the Bruins, staying with Ian Curry as he's slightly shaken up. And just like that, Curry will be back up and play will resume soon.
So a little bit of backfield play here for the Bruins.
Great show of skill from the Bruins right now. A lot of great textbook passing.
Little tap pass, Thorpe. Coming in right now, Kanya will try and clear. That's Tavares down the right side. Just slowly trying to make anything. Sabatino fighting for it. Too much contact on Hankowski.
Sadly, bad touch from the Mountaineers, and it will go back to the Bruins.
Hankowski will send it wide. Crossing attempt over the head of Kanya. Trying to set something up here are the Bruins. So they have deep position right now. Whistle is blown. Not sure if they called an offside right there. Seems like he was positioned just a little bit past Kanya. Blake on the right side. Tavares will try and get it away from the defenders.
And great passing from the Mountaineers right now. Hopefully, they'll be able to bear some fruit from it.
That's Sims back on the defensive line. Jokanovic trying to take it himself. He's made his way down pretty well.
And great
Still
show
going.
skill. Great show skill from Jokanovic. But sadly, not enough, and it will be Bruins ball. Oop. Sorry. It'll be Mountaineers ball.
So ball still being kept alive here by the Bruins. Or to send it back to their keeper, Markach.
And right now, on the 53rd minute, I'd really say that the Bruins are quite comfortable in the position that they're in and really just, in a sense, toying with these Mountaineers.
Yeah, they can just play very passive at this point and just try and work on their passing, see if they can execute any of their offensive plans, if they have any formations they want to test out.
And it seems that there's a bit of miscommunication, but just like that, some players don't quit on the play. And Oliver was forced to come out of the net quite some bit.
And Blake will try and clear it out. Hankowski through the middle. Taken down right there by Ahuo. Pretty hard contact, but no card
Being
given.
quite physical. The Bruins did want to get away with the ball quickly. And we'll see
As
Thorpe.
Thorpe just loses the ball, but Blake will send it out.
And Garen Blake being a top defender, really having his match of the day really with Thorpe.
And right now it's looking like the Bruins are on pace to take the third place in the West. Looking like they can top up the Fanshawe Falcons and take a 1-point lead here.
And Thorpe, even if he's caught on that play, he did quite a skill move right there. Great composure from him.
And pass out wide, crossing attempt is blocked. Sheridan calling for a handball. Unsure from the referee's point of view if he was able to see that. But Keary looking to make a break now.
Great pass from Keon Smith.
Got some
to Keary.
space coming through midfield. Ball will be sent over to Tavares. Trying to make a move. Being hooked and a foul will be called. Player unhappy right there. That is Deuce DR.
And this could be a huge free kick for the Mountaineers.
Just to kind of bring up their morale for this game. I mean, I'm not counting them out, but a 4-goal lead against a offensive team like this with a great keeper in Markach. Just try to get your team on the board here.
I definitely agree with you, Connor. I'll definitely say that having your team morale, any type of boost would really help in these type of situations, because at the end of the day, soccer is just anything can happen.
Yeah, you never want to count a team out, but a goal like that at this point could spark a fire under these guys and realize we don't really have much to play for, but we want to make sure that this team doesn't come out with a win on our home field.
And especially with this Bruins team playing so comfortable and just less aggressive than these Mountaineers.
And it seems like they're kind of playing down to your level.
Playing
They're-
down to your level, I would agree.
They're not playing as hard as they should be.
And with that being said, I'll definitely say that the Mountaineers need to take advantage of that situation and really be the underdogs and come out with a victory.
Yeah, you've got about 30 minutes to play. You can show them that they're not just a team to be stepped over. See if you can put a goal or two on the board. Long through ball. Seems to be onside. Ball will be kept in play.
Huge pass in, but will be intercepted by the Mountaineers.
Keary trying to make something work. Be dropped off. Through ball up to Ahuo.
Great pass from Bernard.
Smith sending it down. Tavares coming down this side. Nice little move past the defender, but ball will sail out. That will be a corner kick. So it's off the Bruins defender, and Tavares will walk it to the corner himself to take the corner.
And like we said earlier, anything to help this Mountaineer team right now would really be beneficial for the outcome of this match.
Corner kick is up. Nice kick, but Anderson will head it away with no problem. So Mountaineers still in the offensive end, but taking a throw in now. Ball bounced around. Still in Mountaineers' possession.
Oh,
And the giveaway almost crucial there. Pass attempt was intended for Steinke, but with Thorpe there, almost gave him a wide open 20 yards to himself to walk the ball in.
and those are just one of the many situations where I have to say that Steinke really just overdoing it, and his defense doesn't put him in the greatest positions, but the stats really would lie I do fully believe he's a top 3 keeper in this OCAA.
So nearing the 60th minute now at Tim Hortons Field. Bruins lead 4-0 over the Mountaineers in the second last game of the season. Mountaineers will travel to London on Saturday to play the Fanshawe Falcons in their last game of the season, while the Bruins will have their final home game of the season against the top-seeded Humber Hawks, only team that would be ahead of the Bruins if they were to win out this season.
Great show of skill, great passing from this Mountaineers team.
So Mountaineers have been doing some nice work on the offensive end. Shot by Ahuo
Wow.
off the chest of Markach.
Very cheeky for the keeper to do such a thing. But when you're up 4-0, why not? And even might be getting an assist right now, possibly.
Could be a second of the game here if Thorpe's able to capitalize. What a snag by Steinke.
Great save.
Blocks the cross attempt to a wide open teammate. While on one knee, slaps it down, was able to corral it. So Steinke making another great play to save his team from going down 5-0. Like you said, Markach almost with an assist on that play. But credit to him earlier on the fourth goal, sent a booming kick with the wind. Like I said, it is a big factor. Ball floated around to maybe the 40 or even 35-yard line of the Mountaineers, was off the head of the defender and gave Thorpe a wide open 1-on-0. Almost credited with another assist on that play.
I'll definitely say that this Bruins team chemistry is just phenomenal. These players just know where the other players should be. And just a huge example to really just show the difference is right then and there,
And look at that.
the Mountaineers just gave up the ball on a free kick straight
Thorpe?
to the Bruins.
For someone who is so aggressive in Thorpe, you see him as he's coming in. He could have taken that himself there, but decides to stop and send his teammate forward, looking to get him an opportunity.
Thorpe is just one of those type of captains that really wants to get everybody in the match, everyone involved. All his teammates have to shine for him to shine.
It seems like we have a player down on the field.
I'll definitely
It's
say
Alois Vukajvic. He's rolling down the field. You see here, coming in on the attempt, Sims with the pressure, the slide, and he trips him up on the ankle. Ankle kind of snapped back there, and that's not what you want to see, especially for a Bruins team up in the standings right now, nearing playoff time. Having one of your best players on offense injured is the last thing you want to see in a blowout win right now. And he is still down. So just not something you want to see for either side. And Sims giving his condolences, obviously not intentional, trying to make a play on the ball, but
yeah, great sportsmanship shown by D'Anthony Sims, but it does seem that the player will be getting up and that medical attention will be needed.
so play does resume. Ahuo a little shaken up there off the contact to the stomach.
Getting up slowly but surely.
But we will keep you updated on Vukajvic. Keon Smith coming in.
Does seem
Nice
that-
tackle by Anderson. Did get some contact, but did come out with the ball cleanly.
does seem that this game is getting a bit more physical.
And the cross attempt almost setting up Thorpe for his 5th of the game, but just a little too hard and out of reach. Steinke with a little dive just in case. Tavares will send it back. Blake trying to set something up here.
A bit of miscommunication on the play.
Curie coming in around midfield, looking to send Tavares.
Great passing. Great show of skill from Tavares.
Nice
but-
little move, but Anderson right there once again.
And Anderson taking on a huge run. Really
Taking
getting
it
the
all of
opposite
himself up the
game.
left side.
really
And
having
he's all the way in, taken down in the
and
box.
this could be a penalty.
I think it is. So a beautiful one-man effort from Jaden Anderson, all the way off the steal from the move from Tavares around his own 30-yard line. Takes it all the way through and is tripped up around the 10-yard line in the box. So now, as you see on the replay here, pushing it on himself. Gets past Sims, and Kanya takes out his back leg. So, leaving Steinke once again with a 1-on-0 opportunity. Waiting on the referee's whistle. Anderson ready to kick. Kick is up and in. And bring out the dance moves does Anderson. And ball near the head of Anderson as he was dancing. Doesn't seem like Steinke took the likes of that, as the replay just powers it right over the head. Nothing you can really do for Steinke. So you're trying to guess and bring out the dance moves for Jaden Anderson. So finally another player on the Bruins getting on the score sheet.
Yeah, quite, and I feel like Thorpe that's exactly what he wanted. He wants to see his
Get your teammates involved. But
and very surprising too for it to be a center back. A person on the defensive line.
You got to credit Anderson coming in from his own end, making a one-man play and getting taken down. I'm not sure if he would have scored on Steinke on that drive.
Yeah.
But after being taken down is awarded with the penalty.
And it does seem that an injury did occur with the Mountaineers.
And that is Kanya, which is going to be a problem with Bort bench, as Kanya already came in earlier in the game for Kilmurray after the head injury. So I'm not sure if the Mountaineers are playing down a man or if Kilmurray has come back in this game. I think I do see him up on the field.
Huge ball for Sabentino.
And right now, Alois Vukeshvik is on the sideline being tended to on the medical table and was able to walk under his own power. So that is good to see for the Bruins. Hopefully it is nothing serious, maybe just a mild ankle sprain that can be set for playoff time. Just a little tape job.
Yeah, I feel like the Bruins definitely understand that this Mountaineers team doesn't have the same drive to play with. Therefore, being physical is not in their head game.
And especially when we talked about fatigue. After these players are tired, they're worn down. The physicality is going to be a lot more susceptible to injury for these.
Great shot given. And
just a little nonchalant tap save right there by Michael Markach.
But those are sometimes the shots that are needed just to, make sure keepers on their toes.
You see right here, Kiri. Stop with a nice move. And then just tries to get the little chip shot. Markach kind of caught up. Just a little one-hand tap over the net.
And that was a great attempt by Ian Curry.
Those are the ones I talked about earlier that can just kind of sail over your head.
Yeah.
But just makes it look like nothing.
Oh, header! But just a bit to the left from Sabentino.
Holding his jersey, knowing that was a beautiful opportunity laid out on a silver platter. And obviously, headers aren't the easiest.
Not at all.
But you see in the replay here, Tavares' kick floats up.
Great cross, by the way, from Tavares.
Just had it a few feet wide, but that looked like a good opportunity. Not sure if Markach would have been able to get there. Probably the best opportunity the Mountaineers have had this game.
Definitely so far. And as we approach the 70th minute, this is the time where the Mountaineers have decided to start really putting this offensive pressure. Then hopefully they're able to snag a few in just to end off the match.
That's Kiri in midfield. Send it back to Blake. That's Smith. Back to Blake. Tripped up. Referee will blow the whistle. So free kick given here around the 20-yard line. Smith trying to make a move. Drop it back to Tavares.
And I'll definitely say that this team right now, even though they do have possession, they're not getting offensive chances.
No, it seems like they've been holding the ball a little too long. That's where you see the Bruins are passing a lot. They're giving a lot of just tic-tac-toe passes, just sending it quickly.
Yeah.
Where these Mountaineers are taking it slowly, trying to make a few like dribble moves, trying to make some individual plays beforehand.
And it could possibly be, they want quality and not quantity, but
Kick is up, punched away by Markatch. Curie will try and retrieve the ball. Nice
great show
little
of
move.
skill. Great show of skill.
Little fake out right there. We'll send it back to Barnard. Through pass. Curie battling for it. No foul on the play. It seemed like there was an arm around his back.
A lot of heart from Ian Carey with this team. Being one of the few to only have a shot attempt.
Ball coming through.
And it
It's
seems
too
that there was a
hard.
keeper switch with Badjois coming in.
Yeah, so Oliver Steinke, after the 5th goal, seemed to be subbed out for Gervier Bajwa, the backup goalie for the Mountaineers. One of the only substitutions on the bench. So I guess after about 70 minutes of play, you don't want your best goalkeeper getting injured, especially in a 5-0 game. You let your backup goalie come in and get some reps.
Yeah, get some playing time in. Some good looks.
Tavares trying to send a nice ball to Blake.
But Blake does
Blake
have
showing
the
off his
pace.
speed.
But a foul was given. And it will be Sheridan Bruins' ball.
That was Keegan Diaz fighting against Garen Blake for the ball. So ball just cycling around.
And again, this Sheridan's team just doesn't seem that they're really playing with all that right now. They're really just toying with this Mountaineers team. They're really not showing the aggression that they were in the first half, I would say.
Well, the 5-0 lead, nearing about less than 20 minutes to play, I feel like you can drop your level of play now. You don't need to go all out and risk any injuries or try and fully sprint for that ball, end up pulling a hamstring or end up hurting yourself after 70 minutes of play. So I feel like taking it nice and slow, just kind of draining out the clock is the way to play here for the Bruins.
So, Connor, with the Mountaineers season so far being 1-7, possibly 1-8, what would you suggest for this Mountaineers team? Like, where do you think went wrong in a sense?
I feel like a lot of the problems this year were, I'd say they had a lot of problems getting the good passes through. I know that they kept the ball a lot trying to make some individual plays, but it seemed like they tried too hard for some individual moments this season. And I think the biggest aspect, and it's been obvious, was the opportunities and mishaps that the defense has given up. They've had some solid moments all year. I can say that they've been a very good defensive line, but they hold it up for, I'd say, maybe 85 minutes out of 90.
I agree.
And in those few minutes, they give a couple mishaps. Just showing in this game, just they played at a good level, but about those 4 goals to Thorpe, just
Yeah.
wide open.
I'll definitely
It's just you play at a high level, and one little mishap on a pass coming through leads to the best goal scorer getting 4 goals against you.
exactly.
So I really think that this team is going to have to take a step up next year on their defense. And offensively, it's been hard. But I know they've only scored 3 goals on the season, but it is very hard to get those opportunities when you are being pinned in your own end
Yeah.
defensively. When teams are putting up 5-6 goals a game on you, you're stuck in the defensive end a lot. It's kind of hard to generate those opportunities because you don't have the ball in your end too often.
Yeah, and there's always that saying that goes around that offense wins games and defense wins championships. So I'll definitely say that's the big difference with this team is where, yeah, the offense can win the game. They've gotten goals before, but it's the defense that's really what's at.
And so far this season, it hasn't been many close games for the Mountaineers. So, on the season, they did win a game 2-0 against Niagara, and that was their best defensive showing of the season. But most of their games have been it's a 5-0 loss, or currently 5-0 to Sheridan, a 6-0 loss to Redeemer, and an 8-0 loss just in the past. This is just in the past few weeks to the Fanshawe Falcons. Most of their games have been 0 goals scored, and
very low shot percentage.
very normally
Shooting.
northward of 4 goals allowed a game.
Yeah.
So next season will be a challenge to kind of step up. They can play at a very good level. We've
A lot of
seen it
talented
this
players.
season. They've held their own against some of the top teams. It's just can they
Can they do it for the 90 minutes?
can they fix those little mishaps? If they can stop just those little awkward passes or a little missed header, they could be I could say a top 4 team in their
It does
conference.
seem that a player is injured on the field right now who is a Bruin.
It's looking like Jaden Anderson, the previous goal scorer.
And he will stay down.
So Ahuo trying to make something work here. Kilmurray coming in and smart play by the defense to get it out of play and let Anderson be tended to.
It does seem that he possibly got a leg cramp, a foot cramp. So his teammate there to support him.
Does have his shoe off currently. Not sure if the shoe came off on the play or if he took it off himself. But does seem to be in good spirit on the ground.
Making some jokes with the referee.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be in agonizing pain, so probably just a cramp later on in this game. He is being stretched out by his teammate Keegan Diaz. Good teamwork right there.
Yeah, we've seen on replay. It does seem that he just landed wrong on the play. It wasn't any foul playing involving the Mountaineers. It's just he went for a header and mislanded. So it does seem that he will be okay afterwards, which is great for this Bruins team.
So Anderson does come off the field. Play does resume.
And this is just one of those opportunities with Anderson being one of the top defenders for this Bruins team. The Mountaineers really just have to take this opportunity
Try and capitalize, yeah.
and capitalize. Put some in the back of the net.
But right now, sending on the break, if he can stay in play, smart move by Thorpe to just kind of slow down. Didn't really have a chance at that, and you don't want to risk pulling anything going
Don't
full
want to
speed.
cramp. Don't want to pull your hamstring or anything. No need for such. But with Thorpe having 19 goals right now, he's just one shy from 20. Great passing from this Mountaineers team. Great show of skill from Ian Curry, who will be tripped up by the Bruins.
So
Mountaineers ball.
78th minute now. About 12 minutes to play. Not sure if there will be any stoppage time. I assume maybe a minute or two just due to the injuries. But about 14 minutes left, I'd assume, in the last home game of the season for these Mountaineers.
And when the game's cold like this, and
Oh,
at
nice
night,
move.
great show of skill from Jack Honrich.
Taken down is Blake by Diaz.
All these players really have to keep in mind of their health. You don't want to cramp up. You don't want to overdo it on a play. You really got to put yourself in mind. And I think Thorpe just showed a great example of it earlier.
Yeah, with a team like the Bruins with playoff aspirations and keeping their eye up to next week for the playoffs, you just want to make sure that nice save right there by Markach. But you want to make sure that you're just going to take it light now. You don't want to risk your OCAA playoff hopes on a 5-0 blowout game with about 10 minutes to go.
Exactly.
And I'm assuming if this Bruins team did have a lot of substitutions, they would be cycling out their top players. But
Yeah.
with such a shortened bench, it's kind of hard. So you probably will see the level of play kind of drop for the Bruins in this last 10 minutes.
And especially with some fatigue going on for sure. These players have been playing nonstop with only one halftime break. Very little
water breaks.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of water from the sky, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And Thorpe coming in right now.
And this could be 20. This could
Being
just be
blocked
20.
off by Tavares. Can he get there?
And Thorpe might actually get a foul for that play. It seems that he possibly dropped the shoulder.
Tavares getting up.
But it's plays like that where you really have to appreciate your players. Players like Tavares, where the score might not be on your side.
Especially for an offensive player. I don't know if he's considered a striker or a midfielder or a winger, but look at the hustle coming back there. Just even with Bourgeois beat, still fighting his way off. And you see that little offhand shove right there by Thorpe. Seemed like he was a little unhappy with the contact that Tavares gave him, and Tavares making a beautiful defensive play.
That's a play was perfectly executed because it was Mountaineers' ball at the end of the play.
Jankowski coming in, or Jokanovic, sorry.
And it does seem that Tavares will be in the backfield, playing in a right wing back position, it seems.
It's Barnard trying to make a move, but pass just a little off kilter. Markach will hold the ball slowly. Try and waste a little bit of time on the clock here. Slow roller. So just cycling it through. That's what the Bruins will probably do for this last bit of the game.
And it does seem that Thorpe will get the ball, but what will he
So
do
will
with
Thorpe try and set up a teammate?
Beautiful pass, but Bourgeois there to reach, just scoop it up. And dish
Bourgeois
it
looking to
back
send
out.
his teammate. Tavares will send it to Blake. Blake with a little bit of room to work with. Try and send it back to Bourgeois.
Trying to get a good reset.
Kiri on the 45. So you can see the pace has slowed down.
Slowed down immensely.
'Cause, if you end up giving up a goal to the Mountaineers, if you are the Bruins, won't really change much the outcome.
Definitely wouldn't change much, but for the Mountaineers, could change everything.
So you're just
Heading
gonna,
into the fan shot game, more so.
yeah, you want to end the game on a good note, especially going into the last game of the season. Something you want to keep your head high, go out on a good limb.
You want your team morale to be as high as possible.
Kiri putting some moves on right there on Rizal.
Great show of skill.
That's Sabatino.
I'll definitely say for the Mountaineers this game, we've seen a lot of great individual play from these players. And I'll definitely just point out a few, as it was Tavares, Sabatino, Carey, and D'Anthony Sims and whatnot, Garen Blake, and many more, Oliver, Sankey. We've seen a lot of great individual players having to pick up different plays and opportunities for their team.
Just seems like a lot of good individual play, but they haven't been able to string it together and
Exactly.
have
Not
some
able to
good-
put it
have some
together
good
as a team.
teamwork. So we know that this team does have the skill. Just can they put it all together and kind of mesh each other's skills together? And
Yeah, to make it a perfect harmony in a
Yeah.
sense. Just like this Bruins team where you can have
Well-
your goalkeeper getting assist even.
I mean, even you've noticed Raheem Thorpe has 4 goals, but he's playing to his teammates' level and he's trying to set them up too.
And
He's looking to be a playmaker, even though he's the best goal scorer in OCAA.
And exactly, I think that mentality right there that, yeah, I might be the top goal scorer, but my first option is always to pass to my teammate, makes your teammates feel different. And they're like, okay, I always want to get this guy the ball because he wants to get me the ball.
The unselfish superstar is normally one of the best players you can have.
and Raheem Thorpe possibly be in MVP conversations as well.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Wouldn't doubt it at all. I believe there's still a possibility he goes for 20 in this game.
And right now, with the pace he's been scoring at, looking at the previous scoring champions from OCAA men's,
Huge free kick by Keon Smith, but sadly a bit over the top. And it will be Bruins ball.
looking at past scoring champions here in the OCAA, Raheem Thorpe is doing something that has not been seen since, I think, 1982-83. With currently, 19 goals on the season now?
Yeah.
Nobody has topped the 17 mark since Mike Everson for Fleming back in 1982-83. So we are witnessing a historical season here for Raheem Thorpe.
Most definitely. Definitely the number one contender for MVP in all books. 19 goals in 9 games is quite the accomplishment for any type of player at any level.
So don't be surprised if you see OCAA all first team Raheem Thorpe.
Oh!
And
Great block from DeAnthony Sims.
nearly an own goal, but
Nearly an own goal.
perfectly aimed that to the side of the net. Not sure if it was perfectly intentional, but that right there just stopped Raheem Thorpe from his 5th of the game.
It really did start him from getting number 20.
You see Hankowski coming in, threw his pass Bourgeois, and Sims clearing it out just by an inch. You see Thorpe right there smiling, knowing that they finally were able to stop him at one point. But
Thorpe.
that would have been 20 on the season for Thorpe.
Yep, Thorpe looking at that goal,
A 20 goal
opportunity,
mark.
as every dog has their day.
But you see that 20 goal mark is just sitting there waiting.
Just waiting.
He's watching it like a dog going for that tennis ball. It's just sitting right in front of him. It's just, will he get to it?
Will he get to it? And I believe
The thing is, it's going to be...
Fanshawe might have to be the team that really worry about that 20.
Well, they're playing the Hawks at home.
Humber
So-
Hawks. My apologies. The Humber
Against a
Hawks.
team, the Humber Hawks, who have been lights out this
8-0.
season.
8-0 this season, correct?
9-0 on the
9-0.
season. They have scored 50 goals for and only allowed 5. So a team with such a lock-up defense and goaltender, it's going to be a very, very tough matchup for Thorpe. Although he can score at will, it's will the Hawks allow him to get that 20 goal mark.
And I'll definitely say with the way Thorpe's been playing and the way his team has his back, that we could definitely see maybe an upset victory when Sheridan does face the Hawks.
Although it won't change anything in the standings for the Hawks. So they do have a 5-point lead over the second-place Conestoga Condors at 7-1-1. So it seems like the Hawks do have the number 1 seed in the league locked up, along for their conference, heading into the playoffs. But Sheridan will be looking at a tough test coming into the playoffs, playing Humber, knowing that that is the team to beat. And the Mountaineers will go into London on Saturday to face the Fanshawe Falcons, who are 5-2-2 on the season with 17 points. Just currently 2 points ahead of the Bruins just before this game ends.
And hopefully the Mountaineers going into that London match hopefully they're able to go into that London match with just a lot of energy and to just really finish the season off with a win.
Yeah, so after this game, it'll look like the Mountaineers will be 1-8 on the season and will take the lead over Niagara for second last in the conference, as they do hold the tiebreak with their only victory being against the Knights. But
Great show of skill from this up and just
Thorpe
right
is
there.
alone, and a nice
Great
save by
save.
Bourgeois.
It does seem that 5 will not be today.
So Thorpe finally getting stopped by the keeper. Bourgeois didn't want any of that, trying to keep a clean slate on his end. But wow, what a save by Gervier Bourgeois on Raheem Thorpe. coming in all alone, makes a nice little sliding save.
And
Keeps it at a
sometimes that's
5-0
just what it
game.
is, where a team changes their keeper and it just kind of changes a slight dynamic.
So 89th minute, Bourgeois will kind of smack it out.
Yeah,
It seemed like he
kinda-
was trying to corral that.
That's kind of a Superman punch, you could say.
Been near on the last minute of play here. Bruins will, if they're looking to try and score again or just kind of cycle it.
And just again, right there, Thorpe's just being very unselfish and giving
Just trying to
up
get
to
his teammates
teammate.
opportunities.
That's exactly what you want your captain to do. Great example.
And wide open is Thorpe. Tapped up, but offside. Bourgeois with the save anyways. And this Thorpe tried to kind of little chop kick it over his head. Bourgeois' kick go downfield. And Bruins once again trying to make an attack. Nice little tackle right there by Ahuo. Kier trying to put the moves on right now.
Great show of skill and great passer from this Mountaineers team to try to end off the game with a happy note. Keon
Tavares
Smith
and
tripped up, but it doesn't seem a call will be given.
he's a little shaken up, but I'm sure he'll be back on his feet. So corner kick will be awarded to the Mountaineers. Tavares' kick is up towards the net, and out of a little sea of blue comes Michael Markach. And almost sending Thorpe once again on a beautiful kick to his striker. So I'm assuming they practice that a lot.
Yeah.
It seems like that would have been the third opportunity for a nice 1-on-0 break for Raheem Thorpe off Michael Markach's kick.
And right now, it just seems that it's going to end very, very soon. Oh, just like that.
And just like that, whistle blows.
Match is over. 5-0.
So- Final score here from Tim Hortons Field will be 5-0 for the Sheridan Bruins over the Mohawk Mountaineers. And that man right there, obviously player of the game,
Raheem Thorpe.
the OCAA leading scorer coming into this game with 8 games played and 15 goals, leaves with 9 games played and 19 goals.
Crazy stat line.
You can't stop that man. And like I said, this is something you haven't seen since the 80s in
Even if you
OCAA.
times his matches played times 2, still more goals. It's
Yeah.
insane.
He's scoring over 2 goals a game at this point.
Huge talent. Huge talent.
So that does wrap up the final home game of the season for the Mohawk Mountaineers here at Tim Hortons Field. But they are still in action on Saturday, October 15th against the Fanshawe Falcons. So I'd like to thank all viewers for watching. From Tim Hortons Field, I am Connor LaHaye,
And I am Ekvasios Zua.
and we will catch you on the next Mountaineers game day.